Hey everyone, Jake here for American Trucks, and in this video we're going to be helping you choose some new headlights for your heavy-duty Ram. We're going to look at a few different types of headlights here, break down some pros and cons of each, and give you some information that will help get you started on your quest for some new headlights. And while our examples in this video might be vehicle specific, the information we're covering here is going to be applicable to all generations of Ram, so you'll be able to find options on our site that will work for your specific truck. Now there are a lot of options out there for headlights, and of course that means it can get a little overwhelming or confusing when you start shopping. So for our purposes here, we're grouping them generally into 4 categories: OEM, OEM Plus, halogen projectors, and LEDs. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in. Starting off with the most simple and straightforward choice is the OEM style, such as these headlights with amber corner lights, chrome housings, and clear lenses. An option like this is pretty much a stock replacement, so it's best suited to the owner who isn't looking to make a big statement, but more so to replace their stock headlights with something that is very similar. Perhaps you're looking to replace faded, cracked, or yellow lenses, then these will be a perfect option for you. OEM style lights are meant to be just that. They're supposed to look like your factory headlights with maybe a slight difference here or there. In the case of our example though, these are nearly identical to the factory headlights on this generation of Ram 2500. And that typically goes for construction as well. Typically you're going to find ABS or polypropylene housings with polycarbonate lenses over top, pretty much the standard for automotive lighting. Now these type of lights, as is the case with our example, will utilize the same bulbs as your factory lights do, again keeping with that OEM theme. And that helps keep costs down, both the initial purchase price and the running costs, since these standard incandescent bulbs are inexpensive and they're readily available. The only real drawback to OEM style lights like these is that they aren't going to give you any additional lighting output versus your originals. However, especially if your current lights are faded, yellowed, or crazed, these are going to help light up the road better purely because, well, new lenses are going to be much more clear. But since they are meant to mimic your factory setup, they're not going to give you any additional lighting output versus what you would have gotten from the factory stock, unless of course you add some upgraded bulbs. If you want to change things up a little bit more, then a set of OEM Plus style lights might be more your speed. These take the general stylistic properties of an OEM replacement and turn things up a notch or two. Take for example the Raxium Axial Series Euro style headlights with black housings and clear lenses. Now as you can see, the general styling here is similar to the OEM replacements we just looked at, but the black housings really do a lot to change up the look. The construction is again typically the same: polypropylene or ABS housings with clear polycarbonate lenses, but there are a few differences that up the style factor. In this case, again, it's really those black inner housings. Now these types of headlights also tend to utilize the same bulbs as your factory units do, again helping keep the cost of entry and the running costs nice and low for you. Meaning that something like these Raxiums are a great way to change up your Ram style without having to spend a fortune to do it. However, again, like our previous example, these aren't going to add anything as far as lighting output, since again, they're going to keep that OEM type of bulb. But they'll still probably end up costing you significantly less to buy than a set of factory replacements from your dealer, and they're going to make your truck look just that much cooler. Now that brings us to some serious upgrades, starting with the halogen projectors, such as these LED halo projector headlights with black housings and smoked lenses. And as you can already tell, these are a big departure from the last two that we've looked at. In addition to the black inner housings and those smoked lenses, the biggest differences lie inside. Instead of standard incandescent bulbs throughout, this one features halogen projectors for the main beams with LED accents such as those halos around those main projectors and the strips along the bottom. So these are going to amp up the style a bit more and offer improved lighting output as well. So in addition to an aesthetic upgrade, they're going to provide you with better lighting output. That means better visibility for you out on the road, and they'll be more noticeable to other drivers as well. But the best part is that they still utilize standard bulbs for the main beams and turn signals in most cases. That means you won't have to spend a ton to get a pair of these. So you get those improved looks, better lighting output, and you're still not going to have to spend a fortune. However, these are going to end up costing you more than our two previous examples, as they are utilizing a different type of style, and you get things like those LED accents. So if you want those things, you're going to have to pay for them. But these arguably have the most variety in their setups, with different combinations of LEDs, different styles and colors, and other features that you can find throughout the category. Then we have the big dogs, the full LED setups, such as the Morimoto XB LEDs, a perennial favorite around here. While the others we've looked at could be considered more subtle, LEDs like these take things to a whole other level. Typically, all of the lighting here is going to be taken care of by LEDs, which means that they are brighter, they're going to last much longer than traditional incandescent bulbs too. LEDs bring a more modern look to your Ram's front end, so even if you've got an older truck, it's going to make it a little more modernized. You also get much more flexibility in how they can be used because of the way LEDs are constructed, so you get a lot more stylistic freedom with these type of setups. They can really update the look of the front end of your truck, and more importantly, they give you much better light output than incandescent bulbs. LEDs cast a cleaner, sharper, and brighter light further down the road than comparable halogens do, even ones of the projector variety like our last example. However, as with most things, there is a compromise, and that comes down to the cost. Full LEDs are going to be the top of the ladder when it comes to pricing, so if you want all that additional output and the cool looks, be prepared to spend some money to get it, because the price tag isn't for the faint of heart. But if you are willing to shell out, you're going to get the most output possible and arguably one of the most unique setups. Now, of course, there are lots of different choices within these categories, and the examples we've looked at in this video are only a small slice of what's out there. But hopefully it's given you some information and a good jumping off point to start your search. Headlights are a really important component on your truck, and it is worth taking time to vet your potential choices before making a decision and buying something. Whether aesthetics or lighting output are your priority though, there's a solution out there for you. And if you find yourself needing another opinion or some assistance in choosing, give one of our customer service reps a shout. They'll be happy to help you narrow down your choices. And in the meantime, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed and you've hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. We've got lots more content, installation, and reviews coming your way. That's gonna be all for this one. I'm Jake, thanks for watching, and as always, for all things Ram, be sure to keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.